Today's America's Cup racing is brought to you from Auckland, New Zealand.
Here we go. The wind is up and it's game on again.
This jockeying by Ineos happened a little late. They're in a tough spot here right now.
The starts are getting closer as the teams are still figuring out a few set plays.
Out of the water, off we go. Takeoff time, catch an air.
And our starts weren't good enough.
If you're in front, you're in control. Slugfest, here we go.
That's sport, so we've got to come back fighting harder.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, Jimmy Spittle, Francesco Bruni are in the box seat.
It's very, very close racing between these two boats.
Don't take your foot off the pedal because Ainsley and the Brits are coming for you.
You're a split second away at any time sailing these boats of a lead change.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli haven't been behind all day.
We need to think about the next race, stay focused because things can turn around very quickly here.
When you're behind, you keep throwing the manoeuvres at him, just trying to force a mistake.
Yeah, who would have thought attacking duel and falling monohulls?
Now this is just lay on top of your competitor as hard as you possibly can.
This will have the traditionalists turning in their graves.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli go 4-0. They are now only 3 races away from meeting the defender.
We're not happy being where we are.
Now they've lost 4 in a row. What can they do?
We've got to turn it around. We'll move heaven and earth to do that.
Tihe Maori Ora and welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand, to the land of the long white cloud, a nation of diverse landscapes. This is Auckland, Tamaki Makaurau, home to the 36th America's Cup. It's been 7 days since racing commenced in the Prada Cup final, and Ineos Team UK have had 6 days to figure out how to turn this one-sided matchup around. The standings at this point are easy to read. Luna Rossa, the challenger of record, has 4 wins. Ineos have 0. 3 more wins and the Italians are through. Let's head to the course fondly known as the back paddock, Course E, where Luna Rossa has port entry, Britannia has starboard.
Oh, Ben Aisley setting up to windward, and now he has the choice, either gap off, and we've seen that been really a great start to get, or if there's enough time, get the hook.
Can Prada slow down enough to kind of force the issue with the Brits, though? That's that they've been practicing this maneuver on slowing down high and slow like they're going right now. Can they box them out?
Ben Aisley lining up for the hook, pushing the Italians down the line. Both of them are early.
Closed out. Don't get closed out.
Stand by, board down, board down. Board's going down.
Start underway. Both teams across the line early. Both teams across the line early. What a start to race 5 of the Prada Cup final.
Both pushed their protest button. Both thinks the other one fouled.
Penalty GBR, both boats OCS, which is neutralised. Penalty GBR.
Wow, both boats OCS, Shirley. That means both were over early, but that was neutralised because they say they went even. All of a sudden, the British have a penalty for either windward leeward, barging, whatever you might call it. There were probably any number of different fouls right there.
Well, I'm sure we'll see it again, but it looks like the British tried to squeeze in a space that wasn't there.
Go, go.
Mitra.
He's matching angle. He's now slowly coming up. Come up a couple here. Up a couple. Yeah, that's fine. No
This is the
problem
umpire. This is the umpire. GBR gained an advantage. GBR has to get 50 metres behind Italy.
Oh, he's given us a penalty. Let's take it with the tag. I think.
No.
Stand by.
So Jimmy Spittle gets the protest. He wants another penalty for Ineos Team UK on this first leg of Prada Cup. Race number 5 in the finals.
He talked it through, Shirley. Jimmy Spithill was the commentator there. He wasn't talking to his crew. He was talking to the jury members, actually explaining what was going on during those maneuvers.
Let's go up into the sky now. Let's just watch it again. This is where it came in.
Yeah, this is a tough spot. The Prada boat did such a good job of going high and slow, and really the judges decided it was either windward lured or stuffing their way into a spot that they weren't allowed to go. They have to avoid a collision, both boats, but that was close.
Jimmy Spittle also made it look like there potentially was a gap. Teased him to come in there.
Still a penalty on the British boat. This is all messed up right now. This still has to do with the penalty off the starting line.
On the wind now. Come on, we're behind him, Richard. What do you want, mate? 3, 2, 1.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, the team that has a 4-0 lead in this Prada Cup final, are first through the top gate. But there's not much in this one. Both these boats performing well in lighter air today on course number E. Around go Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, but right on their tail are Ineos Team UK.
Nathan, can you see any options on this leg for Ineos?
Well, the option for Ineos is really working out how they can get to the right-hand side of Luna Rossa. You know, left where they're heading right now is a little bit softer. It's getting a bit more even. Unfortunately, I don't see big pressure changes or big shifts. I just see slightly more wind on the right-hand side than the left. So I suspect both boats are trying to want to get a left-hand turn at the bottom mark, come out into this pressure. And the only way that Ineos are going to get back into this one is if Prada actually give it to them, I think.
Both boats are looking quite similar speed up at the moment, just as Ineos are able to sail a click lower. They did a real nice job of exiting the drive at a slightly lower angle, and Prada just look like they're coming up to their line. It's going to be really interesting here again at the bottom mark. I think the right-hand side of the course has more pressure. It's going to be a real battle. Whoever gets further to the right of the other boat, I think will make a gain each time.
For Ineos, this is becoming far too familiar a sight, though, isn't it?
3, 2, 1, 4 down.
Approaching the bottom gate for the first time to complete leg 2 of 6 in race number E. And it will be Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, in and around the bottom gate for the first time.
They were listening to Paul Goodison. Even though they were laying the gate, they actually did a jibe to get off to the right-hand side of the course. Very interesting and well done.
And not too far behind our Ineos Team UK. It was 15 seconds at the top gate. It's 20 seconds at the bottom gate. Despite the fact we saw on that downwind leg, they had superior speed at one point.
Gains to him. Yeah. He's tacked. He's on a boundary there.
I mean, Goody, these are big boats and it's pretty light winds. I mean, how big an area is the wind affected by the boat in front?
It's quite a big wind shadow. It's strange because it's not like normal boats. The wind shadow goes almost directly behind you. And the most critical time is to build speed, to get up to your target numbers out of the tack, and as soon as you have a tight lane, you just hesitate to press a little bit, or you press into the dirty air, and life just gets so much harder so fast. A real tricky position for Ineos here.
About to complete the halfway stage of this 5th race in the 2021 Prada Cup Final Series. Once again, leading all the way, Luna Rossa going through that top gate. It was 20 seconds at the bottom mark. What is it this time? How big is the advantage now as they comfortably go around? And Luna Rossa with a quiet wave, and we'll see at the bottom mark. Ineos Team UK
Looks slightly better out this
completing the halfway point of this 5th race. They get around this top gate and complete 3 legs. But that lead is really stretched out now, 58 seconds. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli with a 4-0 lead on Ineos Team UK. Bottom gate for the completion of the 4th leg in race 5 of the Prada Cup final. Again, smooth, subtle touchdown, and as Shirley has done on many occasions, kisses the water and just pops back up. Ineos Team UK approaching the completion of leg number 4 in Britannia. It was interesting to watch Subin Ainsley cross that starboard side. There was a lack of urgency in the cross. It was almost casual, saying, oh, well, that's what it is. 5 legs done for Luna Rossa, and they're heading on the homeward leg, and they will make it, barring tragedy, barring anything, they will go to a 5-0 lead in this Prada Cup final. Ineos Team UK approaching the gate, the top gate, for the final time in race number 5. And there will be questions swirling through the heads of the coaching staff. Subin Ainsley, Giles Scott, how do we get a start, win a start, and get one in the bag? Because as Nathan Outridge quite rightly said, we are running out of time. 1 minute and 19 seconds, they trail Luna Rossa as they head home in race 5.
What we're seeing Luna Rossa do really, really well is their time and distance. The way they managed to just manipulate the time and massage the time so that there was no room to the right of them at that last start was really impressive. And again, that comes down from some really nice software and also being able to manage your boat really well and manage the speed and accelerate at the right time. So it's quite impressive what we're watching right now.
Slick comes to mind because they haven't put a foot wrong. They were tough at the start. They basically bullied in many ways in Ineos Team UK, and they have dominated from the get-go. And if you go back over all 5 races, they haven't trailed once. This is a big moment. 5-0, and they have done it once again and left Ineos Team UK in their wake. Confirmation, race 5 of the 2021 Prada Cup final, and Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, perfect yet again. 5-0 and a 1 minute and 20-second win.
Francesco, I think you've been out of Italy and in New Zealand for too long. Not even a hint of a celebration when you cross that line. What's going on board?
Yeah, you're right. We've been in New Zealand for too long. There are things that you need to learn from the Kiwis, and probably this is one of them. Yeah, no high fives yet.
Let us now go on board to Ineos Team UK. Where to from now, Ben?
Yeah, well, we just got to keep plugging away. I mean, it's tough. We're obviously struggling in terms of straight line performance, so we've got to push it hard to try and make something happen. And yeah.
The Italians have flexed their muscle and extended their winning streak to 5. The Brits now have a proverbial mountain to climb. Can they stop Luna Rossa's march and prevent the Italians from claiming the trophy that bears their name? Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli is looking dominant. They're 5-zip. Can Ineos Team UK turn it around and steal the Italians' confidence? Watching, waiting and keeping a very close eye on proceedings has been Emirates Team New Zealand.
We got a match race going on here.
Now, as the defender, watching this Prada Cup unfold is pretty exciting from a spectator's point of view, but also, you know, daunting in a sense of seeing these guys doing a lot of sailing. But we, you know, we're learning a lot from seeing their races, and we can put those into practice in our simulator and on the water. What's happening clearly is this is turning into a proper yacht race. It's not just a speed fest, it's a match racing regatta.
This is a race and a half.
I think the biggest thing we've learned through watching this Challenger series is just the way that you do need to keep developing speed to the end. The fastest boat will win at the end of the day.
Okay, awesome hustle, guys.
But you can lose the racing by having bad communication, bad tactics, miscommunication. So that's become paramount. Obviously, over the last few years, it's all been about speed. Speed, 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 and understanding our boat and the characteristics of that boat and what it can and can't do. Everyone's trying to learn about their hardware, and then at some point you've got to switch into, okay, this is a real yacht race.
We have a boat race.
this is a little more like the match racing we've seen in the past.
So we've all had to develop our manoeuvrability, our boat handling, and then really focus on the racing side of it. So that's what's key for us from here on in.
Go, 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 go.
It's actually been really exciting that the level of engagement is high. This was the vision from the outset. Not only did we want to get a monohull foiling, but we wanted it to be racing. We wanted to get rid of all those naysayers that said this is not going to ever be a race, it's going to be absolutely woeful. So it's actually incredibly satisfying to see it unfold into a proper match racing regatta at high octane levels.
So it is on.
To position themselves strongly against the opponent.
What we're seeing also at the moment is a lot of momentum that teams are carrying through to each round. We saw Ineos obviously come back with a vengeance after Christmas.
Luna Rossa haven't put a foot wrong this whole race.
And we saw Prada do that, the closing stages of this last round robin, the semi-finals. So now those two teams are carrying a lot of momentum into their finals. It's going to be really interesting to see how that goes. Clearly one of those teams will carry momentum through to the final America's Cup. That has always been the case, and we just got to trust our tools and trust our processes and our people. We've got a crew of guys, we just got to trust them, and it's going to be exciting.
The Italians are looking slick. Can the Brits get on the scoreboard? Let's find out. It's time to head to the start box for race 2.
Ineos Team UK need to win a start. Subinati keeps talking about sailing better. The time is now.
Time and distance for Ainsley. Can he shut the other boat out?
Coming down now. They're watching it. You got eyes on him, Kenny's yeah. Big down now. Yep. Coming up hard. Up 10. Up hard. One more. Easy. He goes again. Hold that. That's good. Racing. He cannot shut all the way up.
18 seconds. Ainsley could finally have his control off the starting line.
Yep. You're on the line. You're on the line.
Charge. 10, 9, 8, 6,
Big gap between the two right now, though, Shirley. Might have let him off the hook a little bit.
Race 6 of the Prada Cup final between Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli and Ineos Team UK. Clean start, game on.
We've seen the boat on the left side, on the high side of the screen, have advantage here because they get to tack when they get into this boundary. They have boundary abilities to go onto port tack. This is the crucial moment. That first cross is the crucial moment of the race.
We see the British boat squeezing up, closing that gap. They've done well here, the British boat.
They went early on Prada. They didn't even push them into that boundary limit. Nathan, they showed pretty good height right there, the Brits did, and able to kind of shake these guys off early.
Yeah, Kenny, exactly right. That was a really good start by Ineos Team UK. Defended the leeward end of the line nicely. I think it's all going to come down when they come back together again. Who makes the cross here? Ineos need to make the cross. They'll be on port tack when they come back together. If Luna Rossa get a piece of them and get them on starboard tack, then I fear we see the same result. But if Ineos make the cross, we could have a race on here, guys.
He tags there. Intersection's about 20 or 15 away from him. Copy. Yeah, going to leave out here. Set up, let's. Yeah. 5 forward down. Cross. In 5, in 4, in 3,
It will be hard for him to leave bow.
Force down.
He's leave bowing.
That's clear. Okay, going forward.
Yeah, we're looking to slowly trim up.
Build,
24s.
line.
First cross to Ineos. Haven't said that in a long time. Big split. Big split. I'm with Goody on this one. I'm surprised they hung it out there all the way to the other side of the race course. Another close cross coming. Looks like Ineos may get across.
He's probably on lay, is he?
I don't think so. No, that's a negative.
Leader right here.
On the edge.
Taking some height. Coming up here.
Yeah, even.
Yeah, just across. We have to just follow him here.
No problem.
Nice work. Stand by. 3,
Good pressure after
2,
him.
1.
Good call, Giles Scott.
No problem. The best comment there was no problem. 40 knots coming at each other. No sweat. We got this.
And here's a small moment that will make the team on Ineos Team UK feel so much better. For the first time in this Prada Cup series, they head through the top gate, leading Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Yep, steer down. 3, 2, 1. Clear.
Around go Luna Rossa, 8 seconds behind.
And tripping.
Got a little bit of pressure up there.
Nathan, we look at the race course here, and we still notice that these guys have their biggest jib up, the J1, and on the Italian boat, they have a smaller jib up. Still pretty big difference between sail plans right now, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right, Ken. There is a difference, and you know we were all thinking that that bigger jib was holding him back, but there was no holding him back on that upwind. They obviously sniffed out something out of the left to make that cross at the top, and now we have roles reversal in this race. We've now got Ineos in front for the first time, and the question is, are they going to slowly get away? Is the lead boat got such an advantage? Or is Prada fast enough, and are they going to get back into this race? It's looking pretty stable out here in terms of pressure, so it could be a bit of a boat speed race from now.
Yeah, on average. Copy.
Guys, probably
Okay, 10 seconds out here. My pitch.
2, 1.
Ineos Team UK at the bottom leg for the first time, the bottom gate. And if you're watching this in the middle of the night in the UK, you will be pretty happy about this. Don't fall off your seat. Don't spill your cuppa. But Ineos Team UK in race 6 are leading Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Are they on the third leg, on their way to their first win of the Prada Cup final? Only time will tell.
You know, Ineos did a great job of him making sure Prada followed him around, but then Prada instantly straight to get out of phase. As Paul Goodison was saying, it's a little bit streaky out here, and if you're the lead boat, you wouldn't want to allow too much leverage right now. So Ineos rolled straight into attack. I expect when they come back together here, Ineos is going to start to shut this race down. It'll be a face tack in the next one, and then they'll be trying to push them up the left-hand boundary, I suspect.
Confidence will be building on the Ineos Team UK boat.
5, 2, 1. Now. Boards down. Your pitch. Take on board. Yeah.
Pretty soon here, boys.
Yes.
Pretty soon. Stand by.
The light spot coming here now. No pressure back.
Ineos Team UK at the top gate, complete the halfway mark of the 6th race, as they are around the mark and head down for leg number 4. The deeper we head into this race, the more confident Ineos Team UK and Britannia looks to potentially bag their first win of this Prada Cup final series.
Ineos are tramping away early on this leg. I think they got extra wind, good angle. Goodness, they've nearly doubled the lead.
My wheel forward. My pitch. Hold down. Turn it. Got it.
Yeah, no, the breeze looks to be up just a click at the moment, which I think the big difference between the teams at the moment is that the British guys are managing to exit their jibes just a little lower, and it seems to be a little nicer, but then I think some of that's coming into the jib.
Ineos Team UK complete 4 legs of 6 in race 6. And they have stretched the lead. That's right, we're talking about Ineos Team UK stretching the lead on Luna Rossa, who have been so dominant in this Prada Cup final series.
It's amazing how much faster you look and feel when you're ahead, Shirley. I mean, these things sound like obvious comments, but Ineos, the whole package just looks better this race. Amazing shots of these things just ripping through the water, isn't it? You just can't get used to this. How the world of sailing has changed forever thanks to this class.
Turning. Hang on board.
Looks like Ineos is on ley line, but that's also going to create a split. I mean, the Italians are slowly coming back into it.
How big is this moment as we finish the penultimate leg of race number 6?
It's going to be a split at this gate as well. I think you're going to see Ineos roll into a jibe pretty quickly and try to stay in the same water on this downwind leg. Wow, big comeback.
Ineos Team UK running the top gate for the last time. But they are now being hunted from Luna Rossa, and it's not that far. They have dragged in some time, believe you me. It was 32 seconds to the bottom gate. It's 9 seconds with 1 leg to go. Tension has just ramped up a notch on this final leg of race 6. Although that Ineos lead has just expanded somewhat. It was around 50 odd coming into the top gate. Now it's expanded out to around 150, 160, and it keeps on going. Racing towards the finish in the 6th race of the Prada Cup final.
Really well done by the British team coming into the finish line here. Great control on this last leg. Very proud of them for a variety of reasons.
The Prada Cup final is far from over. Ineos Team UK are heading towards the finish line, and they will bag their first win in this final. It may be a small win, but it's a significant win. Let us go on board to Subinanzi. And Ben, I've got to say, it feels good to say congratulations. How does it feel for you?
Well, yeah, we're a bit happier with a win than been on the wrong side of it last few days of racing. So guys did a great job. Just, you know, they're not going to give up, these boys. Going to keep fighting all the way. So get one back is what we needed.
One final thought, Ben, your grinders look like they've had a hell of a day at the office. Might be your chance to buy them a drink tonight because they did a hell of a job.
Yeah, I owe them many, many beers. That's for sure.
Thanks, mate. Go and enjoy this one. Still a long way to go. Appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, guys.
Time to head on to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, who still hold a 5-1 lead. Jimmy Spittle is standing by to have a yak with us. Gee, that was tight at the end there, Jimmy.
Yeah, it was a great race. I thought the boys did a great job. Really nice manoeuvres. Pretty steady, you know, the pressure in the end. But yeah, great race. Full credit to Ineos for getting that one.
So Ineos Team UK are back in the game. They led from start to finish and claimed their first win by 14 seconds. Is this the start of the comeback or a minor setback for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli?
Here we go, folks. It's game on yet again. This is what it's about. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, Ineos Team UK.
Both push their protest button. Both thinks the other one fouled.
The starts are always pretty important in the America's Cup. I mean, if you can get a jump off the line, that can really improve your chances of a win.
Probably any number of different fouls right there.
Pretty tight, huh?
It looks like the British tried to squeeze in a space that wasn't there.
Felt like the right thing to push it. Think of us doing it again. I think we'd do the same thing.
The challenger of record haven't put a foot wrong.
Each race, we get better and better.
This is a big moment. 5-0.
I think the package is going well.
And they have done it once again and left Ineos Team UK in their wake.
We want to take this series all the way, and you know we still got our sights on winning this.
If you're watching this in the middle of the night in the UK, you will be pretty happy about this. Ineos Team UK in race 6 are leading Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
The only thing that matters is the next race.
It may be a small win, but it's a significant win.
We're obviously not happy to be 5-1 down. It's not at all where we want to be.
The comeback might just be on for Ineos Team UK.
But like I keep saying, this team won't give up. We just will not give up. That momentum's key. As we all know in sport, momentum's everything.
The battling Brits have hit back and secured a much-needed lifeline against the previously dominant Italians. But there's a massive challenge ahead. They need to win 6 out of the 7 races scheduled. Is this the start of an historical comeback or a blip? Let's head to course A for race 7. Ineos has port entry, Luna Rossa starboard.
It's all on right here. 2 minutes to decide who gets the start right.
Little different move right away by the British by going really super deep down into the box. Shirley, again, these guys, these are not just random plays we're seeing right now. For the viewership around the world, we're seeing sailing like we've never seen before, and these pre-starts are the perfect example.
Yeah, probably tanking here, Jimmy.
Copy that.
Don't come in here like that.
No eyes on him. Yeah. Starboard lane 5 in 2, 3, 2.
So you can already hear on board Prada that they were anticipating where their competitor is on the race course, where they are on the lay line, which is that straight line back to the starting line in the upper left-hand side of our screen. Here comes that push.
Time and distance to the start, critical. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli have been almost masters at it. What's on?
He'll be late. We've got a little bit to defend.
Up a little.
Ready to trim up here?
Got us racing at the pin.
No, we're racing.
I'm really surprised that Luna Rossa gave up that distance, Shirley. That seemed like distance they didn't need to give up.
Full speed, boys. Build here.
Should be good here. Got you just on time. Maybe just a little kill to do here. Little kill.
Yeah, down a touch. Full focus on speed here.
11, 10,
Let's go, charging big time.
8, high pitch.
Let's go all the way. Trimming up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Start. Race 7, Prada Cup final is underway. No argy-bargy, clean by both.
Same now.
I was very surprised that Luna Rossa gave up that distance to windward as early as they did. I thought they had a chance to kind of hang up there and start further gapped off to whether this is a very vulnerable spot for the Italians.
It looked like a moment of slight indecision. They thought maybe we'll go for the hook and then realised it was too late.
They're going to try and take this all the way to boundary. And lots of flashing now, so both boats about to tack, and it's all about your exit of this tack for these two boats. I'd expect Luna Rossa going to put the high mode on him pretty quickly and try and squeeze him out.
Very well done by Spithill that whole way across. They were in an incredibly vulnerable spot. Up to the helicopter in the sky, Paul Goodison. Were you surprised that Luna Rossa could hang in that spot all the way to the boundary?
Yeah, a little surprised they managed to stay in there as well as they did. It's going to be interesting going across here with the setup we have today. There's going to be a bit of a right bend around Rangitoto into the channel, so we'd expect a small right shift as we get over here, and I'd expect it to become quite difficult for Ineos to hang in on this this long port tack.
Any time here for tack. 2, 1, board down.
From the hunter to the hunted, that whole starboard tack line out there to the boundary, and Ineos was seemingly in control. They couldn't shake the Italians, Shirley, and all of a sudden the Italians really have the upper hand. Nathan, it kind of shows that high mode that we've seen with the Italian boat from time to time. That was kind of special what they did.
Yeah, very special. But man, they just stuffed up their tack there. They just had a bad tack, big splashdown. Looks like they've been able to get back up on the foil, but they tacked right on top of Ineos there. But yeah, Kenny, they have recovered. They've got quite a good control in this race. But what you're talking about is that high mode they have is very powerful. You know, to be able to live all the way to the boundary like that was very impressive.
If you're a British fan, that is not a sight you want to see. There's no question about that. A dominant positioning by Luna Rossa, and one and into the left gate to the gate at the bottom of our screen, and Ineos is going to have to follow them right in.
Luna Rossa going through the top gate for the first time in this 7th race with a lead on Ineos Team UK. That despite a poor tack halfway up the course. Down and up they were, and down they go on the first downwind leg.
My wheel.
Yeah, copy.
In comes Ineos Team UK.
One, down hard, easy. Yeah. Okay.
Small margins at the moment after the first gate, 16 seconds.
Definitely better down this boundary, unfortunately. Yeah. Okay.
These guys are just kind of out in a walk in the park, it seems like. They've really gotten control of these animals, these AC75s.
Bottom gate for the first time. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli still controlling the 7th race. And as we have said on numerous occasions, as this team has got better and better, nice smooth rounding of the mark, and away they go on leg number 3 of race number 7. It was 16 seconds at the top gate. And not too much more as Ineos Team UK come around the bottom gate. Maybe a 5-second game, and not the best drive around by Ineos Team UK. 21 seconds the deficit. And just look at the engine room do its job. I think you were the one, Kenny, who said earlier with these tacking jewels, those boys are absolutely knackered by the end of a race.
Yeah, the grinding world championships, we called it a week or so ago. It's really, it's a different world. They're pumping hydraulic fluid for the most part and accumulating hydraulic pressure, so everything from the water line up can be trimmed properly.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, halfway through this 7th race, getting one step closer.
Good course.
To the match. It's not done yet, though. So half distance completed. Leg number 3 for Luna Rossa.
Maybe out of drive before him.
Around they go. Nice and easy. Sunday afternoon on the harbour.
I think what we're seeing out here right now is that out of the two boats, they have similar area sails, but the Italian boat just manages to deal with having slightly less power. They just look a little bit more slippery through the water and don't look like they need to generate those big cambers to power the boat forward, whereas Ineos looks just really underpowered at the moment. They're the guys who you see with the smaller jibs on seem to suffer earlier, and I think that's what's the difference is right now.
It really is a stadium watch for everybody out there, and for you at home, wherever you are watching around the world, as Luna Rossa gets set to round that bottom gate and start on leg number 5. Just like a bought one. That's what that rounding was.
Smooth and slick.
You know, the most surprising thing, I'm going to use the word surprising thing about the performance of Luna Rossa, all up till the Prada Cup final, let us be blunt, they were nothing flash. They weren't setting the world on fire, and suddenly, surely, when it matters, boom.
They'd spent all that time developing the boat, and there was certainly potential in the boat. And we saw glimmers of greatness, but they couldn't tame the beast. And as the weeks have gone on, it's just got tighter and tighter and smoother and smoother.
The home leg in race number 7.
Lower than this. This is good, though. 2-1, all good.
Sweet. Just like that, around they go and head home. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli moving a little bit closer to the big show, the America's Cup.
You'll see him setting up. That's crossing.
Jimmy Spittle, Francesco Bruni, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, the challenger of record. And they are about to win race number 7 of the Prada Cup final and take a 6-1 lead in this regatta. They can smell the America's Cup match. They are across the line. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli with win number 6. Ineos Team UK finish race number 7, but they finish in a place they don't want to be. That is second, and second gives you nothing. One more race. They've got to win race number 8. Otherwise, it's over. On board, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. They are a 6-1 leader. 1 to go, Francesco. How satisfying was that performance today?
We are super happy, obviously, but again, we are very close. For sure, we are very close, but we need to focus to the next race. We cannot give anything for granted. We have to stay focused and keep sailing well.
Grazie, Francesco. We'll talk to you after race number 8.
Thank you.
Let's go on board Ineos Team UK. Sir Ben Ainsley. Ben, where to? Where to from now?
Win a race, win the next race. Got to win every race from now on in. Otherwise, we're out. So it gets pretty simple.
The Italians are on the brink of victory. One more point and they win the right to take on Emirates Team New Zealand. Ineos Team UK are living on the edge. One more loss and they are out. Whose America's Cup dream will survive? Whose will die? Is this the last race of the Prada Cup final? Ineos Team UK are down and very nearly out. The challenger of record, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, need just one more point to take out the series. Let's head to the water for race 8. Luna Rossa has port, Britannia has starboard.
He's inside starboard lane for us, left shift. 17 to boundary, 16 to boundary, 10 closest.
Port down.
Clearing board then?
Yeah.
Starboard tack by Prada. They had to jibe early there on Ainsley's boat. He's the one who's vulnerable to a hook right now. Actually jibed himself in kind of a tough spot. Early back.
Killing 9 to the
Your wheel.
My wheel.
Watch him on the down. Get on this breeze, get on this breeze.
Coming on this breeze.
No, don't come on, too much. Okay, nice, mate.
We got him good.
Yeah.
Nice there, 26s, boys. No problem here.
Building here now.
You heard Spithill say they're going to bear away and do a port tack start, so they think that Ainsley's actually on time at this stage. He's actually given in to a port tack start on the Italian boat.
Yeah. Just make sure he doesn't lock us out here.
Still early.
They are both early. There's no question they're both early. Both could be starting on port tack at this stage. Ainsley might not be out of the woods yet.
Okay, got it.
No, don't think so.
Protest up from Luna Rossa at the start of race 8.
I will.
Whoa!
Okay, good angle.
Coming to the line.
Game on, race 8.
Port starboard. Ainsley was still so early, he had to tack.
The Italian boat crossed the line early. They must slow down 50 metres.
This is the umpires. Italy OCS have about 20 metres to kill.
Good speed there. 20 metres, do it out of attack.
Clear, penalty complete.
Clear, go boys, go.
Copy that.
He's pressing
and coming on the breeze now.
Should be on the breeze.
Nice there.
Nice.
Well, surely they got ahead. I don't know how they did it, quite frankly. That in that start, they were in a really vulnerable spot. It looked like a port starboard to me.
Still looking okay on this left bend. He's got options for
The fast boat all of a sudden got fast again, Shirley.
I think he'll go straight.
Just want to try and build a little killer.
So, despite the penalty, despite the protest, despite being behind, look who's leading on the first leg of race number 8. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. So this is the top gate for the first time in race number 8 of the Prada Cup final. And it is Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli rounding the top gate for the first time. It's close. It's very close, but Ineos Team UK are going to have to be a lot closer. They're going to have to get past that very fast boat that's on its way down on the downward leg.
It's still pretty close, but it's hard to imagine that this isn't going to play out the way that the previous race played out, with Luna Rossa just slowly stretching out. Just really smooth manoeuvres on that first beat. They didn't seem stretched at all when they were behind. They just waited, let the boat speed do the work for them, and they're back in front again.
We're going to have to do something pretty special here, Jello, so...
It's closed up. Ineos, more breeze. Look at the lead now. It's so close.
Good pressure here. Good gains, lads.
They are going to get a split here. no question about it. Remember, this is not the gate that they're going through right now. That was the start line. The actual gate is to the right side of our screen.
Okay, turning up in 3.
You know that Ineos Team UK will not give up. They will hang in all the way. It was 12 seconds at the top gate. Have they made gains? 12 seconds at the bottom gate. So yes, nothing in it, but they need more.
Yeah, a little high mode here, which is fine.
Nathan, they like that left side of the race course. At least they don't mind that left side of the race course, do they?
Got an intersection 20 out.
Nah, it looks pretty obvious that Prada, Jimmy and Bruni are very keen to protect the left side of the course. It is probably a click windier over there, but it was also a great opportunity to tack on their competition, give them a bit of dirty air and try and gain a few more meters. They're definitely not leaving anything to chance out here, that's for sure.
2, 1, 4 down. Turning.
Surely the Italians are going to just nail them right here. They're going to go right on top of them and force them back to the short side of the race course, which is the top of the race course, right where that boundary is. Sure enough.
Exactly.
On cue.
Running out of options here on this leg. And just watching the distance so slowly growing between them.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli about to get to the halfway stage of race number 8. They are 3 legs away from a race win and to be crowned the Prada Cup champions and official challenger for the America's Cup. Still 3 legs to go, though. They round the top gate and head down on leg number 4. Ineos Team UK heading to that top gate. They are now halfway through the race, but they are still the hunter.
Stand by.
1 second more.
3, 2, 1.
They are about to complete leg number 4 of 6 and start out on the upwind leg for the final time. 367 metres right now in favour of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli on the penultimate leg of race number 8.
Pressure.
It's more than just smelling the chance to challenge Emirates Team New Zealand now.
2, 1.
They are pointing the nose of that beautiful boat downwind and they're heading home. And you know what they're heading home for? The prize, the Prada Cup.
Got to start thinking ahead here. Emirates Team New Zealand, what are they thinking? They're as Goody said, they're sitting out there on the water watching this race, probably parked right now. They've been creating strategies against both of these boats, most likely. Well, it's strategy A, strategy B. Well, guess what? It's strategy A. We're going against Prada. We know they're great in this light stuff. We as sailing fans, as sport fans, are just hoping for a great match.
Here we go. It's a done deal in 2021. For only the 2nd time in their history, Luna Rossa will make the match and be the official challenger for the America's Cup and take on Emirates Team New Zealand. Only the 2nd time the challenger of record has made the match. The last time, 1972. Spittle, Bruni Sabello have done the job. They're going to the big show. On board the Prada Cup winners, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, official challengers now for the 36th America's Cup. Jimmy Spittle, Francesco Bruni. Lads, congratulations. How does it feel, Jimmy?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Pretty good day at the office.
That's the best you can offer. Okay, Francesco, how does it feel? And you must want to say something to your home nation.
Fantastico! Fantastico! È bellissimo! È bellissimo! We are different. Australian and Italians, very different.
Jimmy, Ben's listening in. You guys have sailed together. Have you got words for Ben? Because it's happy days for you, tough day for Ben and the crew.
Oh, look, I've had definitely in my career probably some of the best racing ever against Ben. Obviously some good ones with him as well, but he's definitely one of the toughest competitors in the world. Joel Scott as well. And yeah, I'd have to mention my old mate Joey Newton. This is the first campaign in 20-something years that we haven't done one together, and yeah, it was very, very good racing going against those guys. So yeah, really pay respect to them.
Ben, I know you're listening in. Do you have a response to Jimmy's kind words?
Hey, well, no, first I've got to say well done to Luna Rossa and well done Italy. No, it's a big deal in Italy getting into the America's Cup final again. So congratulations to the team, to Jimmy and Kako and all of the boys. You know, they sailed brilliantly and you know, deserve to take the final. So yeah, hats off to them. We're obviously, you know, disappointed we can get through, but we'll have to go away, go back to the drawing board and see what we can do.
We have to go across to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli right now for the Mum Champagne moment, and we'll do that right now. As you can see, the bottles of Mum Champagne are out, and this is the moment that signals for a start that you are looking at the Prada Cup winners in 2021. That'll do it. There's your Mum Champagne moment. The America's Cup. It's all about breaking records, shattering dreams, and creating heroes. The 36th chapter of the America's Cup is about to be written. It's the culmination of millions of dollars, man-hours, blood, sweat, and tears.
I'm with Jimmy. Jimmy, this is quite the celebration. Just describe this moment.
Yeah, now you're really seeing the Italian emotion and passion. We're trying to get them to hold it in until we got to this point. But now, good to see it.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli has claimed the silverware that bears their name and won the right to take on defenders Emirates Team New Zealand for sailing's ultimate prize, the America's Cup.
Today's America's Cup Racing is brought to you by Prada.